Welcome to the deep dive, ready to explore the Indian financial market. Today, we're focusing on Nippon Life India Asset Management.
Sounds exciting.
We have some interesting documents to guide us. Their investor presentation from Q3 of fiscal year 2025 and a statement from back in 2017 about how they used funds from their IPO. It's going to be a deep dive into what this company does, how they've evolved, and maybe even get a glimpse of what their future holds.
So we're like financial
And
detectives.
exactly. Piecing together the story of Name India's success. But first, let's zoom out for a broader view. The Indian mutual fund industry has been booming.
Oh, absolutely.
A 20% compound annual growth rate over the past decade is phenomenal.
It is. But here's the thing. Even with that growth, mutual funds in India are still less common compared to other major economies.
That's a good point. So there's huge potential for further expansion.
Absolutely. Tons of room to grow.
What's fueling this growth? Is it just big institutions, or are everyday people getting involved?
It's actually getting really interesting because we're seeing a shift, growing participation from retail investors, everyday people investing their savings.
That's a great sign.
And you know what signifies this growing confidence? The popularity of systematic investment plans, or SAPs.
SIP.
Yeah, they allow people to invest a fixed amount regularly. Makes investing less intimidating,
More accessible.
Exactly. And guess what? The presentation mentions record inflows into SUPs.
Wow.
Looks like this trend is here to stay.
So individual investors are playing a key role.
Oh, they are. Definitely.
Now let's focus on Nippon Life India Asset Management,
NAM India.
one of the major players.
Oh, absolutely. A 30-year history, a strong reputation in the Indian market. They manage trillions of rupees across a variety of assets, mutual funds, ETFs, you name it, even alternative investments and offshore funds.
Not just a one-trick pony.
Nope.
Their growth is really impressive. Their QAAUM, their quarterly average assets under management,
Like their QAUM.
has surged by 51% year on year.
That's massive.
It's huge.
Eye-catching indeed.
It's helped them secure their position as the fourth largest asset management company in India, based on QAUM, of course. And here's something even more impressive.
What's that?
They're the #1 non-bank sponsored mutual fund company in India.
Wow. Outperforming some major financial institutions.
That's a big achievement.
It is.
Their individual investor AUM is a whopping 3.47 trillion Indian rupees. Clearly, they've earned the trust of many. Plus, they've really focused on their digital platforms, making investing easier and more convenient.
It's a smart strategy,
It is.
combining their long track record, diverse offerings, ability to attract various investors, and staying tech-savvy.
They seem to be doing well. But let's delve into their recent performance. What does their Q3 FY25 presentation tell us?
Well, the strength of their systematic flows is quite apparent, especially the SAP contributions we talked about. A consistent flow from
A
individuals,
sign of confidence in their long-term performance.
like a vote of confidence. And it's not just a few people. Their investor base is massive. Over 31 million folios.
That's incredible.
It is. And they've managed to attract both high net worth individuals, HNIs as they're called, and still keep a strong hold on retail investors.
A delicate balance.
Absolutely. Catering to diverse needs without neglecting any segment. And don't forget, they're a thriving ETF business. 18.1% market share.
That's a significant chunk.
Definitely.
These numbers look promising, but I'm curious about their reach beyond the major cities. The presentation mentions something about B30 locations.
Ah, yes. B30 refers to the bottom 30% of districts in India, based on per capita income, of course.
So NAM India is trying to broaden financial access to areas that might not typically be served.
Exactly. Promoting financial inclusion, making investing more accessible.
That's commendable. It's great to see a company not solely focused on profit, but also on positive social impact.
Absolutely. And adding to that, they've received multiple awards for their employee-centric culture.
So positive environment both inside and outside the company.
Looks like it.
Okay, NAM India is a big player, impressive growth, broad reach. But what's their secret? What sets them apart?
One key factor is their product portfolio. It's diverse, offers a wide range of investment products, caters to a variety of needs and risk appetites.
So something for everyone.
Yeah, from cautious beginners to seasoned investors.
And how are they getting these products to their customers?
It's a multi-pronged approach, using both physical branches and a strong digital platform.
Smart strategy, combining traditional and modern approaches.
Exactly. And we've already talked about their diverse investor base, retail, HNI, corporations. That diversification helps mitigate risk and ensures a stable base.
Absolutely. And those robust systematic transactions, especially SIPs, show the long-term confidence investors have in India.
It's a testament to their approach.
It seems they've found a balance between innovation and understanding investor needs, a winning formula.
It does make you wonder about their investment philosophy.
Right. What are the principles that guide their decisions? I'm particularly interested in their risk management and their commitment to ESG principles. It's gaining traction globally.
Let's explore that aspect of NEM India, see how their values align with their investment strategy.
So we've seen NEM India's current performance, but I'm curious about their journey. Let's rewind to 2017, their IPO. This statement about how they use the funds should give us some insight.
Like a time capsule.
Exactly. Their vision, their priorities. Back then, they outlined several areas for using those IPO proceeds.
Right.
One major focus was enhancing their digital capabilities.
Yeah, even back then, they saw the importance of technology in finance. They were ahead of the curve.
They weren't just following trends, they were anticipating them.
Absolutely. But what specific digital improvements do they have in mind?
Well, they plan to invest in their online platforms and mobile applications, making things easier for investors to manage their accounts and access information.
Makes sense. Laying the groundwork for the user-friendly experience they have today.
So they foresaw this shift toward online and mobile transactions.
It's possible. But they didn't just focus on digital. They also planned for geographical expansion, broadening their reach.
Within India and internationally.
Both. The statement mentions setting up branches, expanding their distribution network, exploring new markets, making their services accessible to more investors.
Aligns with what we see today. A strong presence across different investor segments and geographical areas.
For sure. But building a brand isn't just about being everywhere.
It's about recognition, trust.
Exactly. And they allocated funds for that too. Brand building and marketing.
They knew that a strong brand was crucial in a competitive market.
Right. Like saying, hey, we've got great stuff, but you need to know about us and feel good about investing with us.
Exactly, but not just external branding.
Nope. They also focused on internal improvements, upgrading their tech infrastructure like data analytics and cybersecurity.
Not just the flashy stuff, but the important behind-the-scenes things.
Right. Keeping things secure, running smoothly.
And what about their people? Investing in their workforce.
Spot on. They allocated funds for talent acquisition and development, investing in their people.
It seems like a well-rounded plan, addressing short-term needs and long-term growth.
Strategic thinking.
Definitely. So how did these 2017 investments lead to the successes we see in their Q3 FY25 performance?
Well, the digital transformation is clear. Their online presence, the convenience they offer.
Remember, nearly 75% of their purchases and new SIP registrations are through digital channels.
That's proof their digital investments paid off.
They're leading the way.
Absolutely.
What about their plans for geographical expansion? Did that pan out?
Their investor presentation highlights their wide reach, both domestically and internationally.
We discussed their expansion into B30 locations.
Exactly. Financial inclusion.
But they've also expanded into offshore markets and added alternative investments.
Fulfilling their initial vision.
They've grown bigger and more diverse.
For sure. And their brand-building efforts surely played a role.
Absolutely. They've built a strong reputation, one of the most trusted asset management companies in India.
That kind of trust doesn't happen overnight.
It's built on consistent performance and fulfilling promises.
Definitely.
Everything's falling into place. Their strategic use of those IPO funds has set the stage for their success today.
Right.
But it's not just about past achievements. It's about how they're continuing to innovate.
You're right. Their commitment to ESG principles, remember, a forward-thinking approach.
Yeah, they're not just focused on profits. They're thinking about sustainability, the ethical impact of their investments.
And investors are increasingly seeking companies with strong ESG credentials.
Exactly. NA India seems to be ahead of the curve in India, integrating ESG into their process, engaging with companies on sustainability.
A smart move, ethically and business-wise,
Man,
appealing to a growing segment of investors who value sustainability.
doing good and doing well don't have to be separate.
Right.
So what about their investment philosophy? Their approach to risk and returns?
Their investor presentation highlights a disciplined process, rigorous research, strong risk management, long-term perspective.
Not chasing quick wins, no unnecessary risk.
Exactly.
A philosophy that clearly resonates with investors, given their growth and loyal base.
For sure. But it's not just about numbers.
It's about communication and transparency, too.
Absolutely. They keep investors informed and engaged. Updates on performance, market outlook.
Building trust and loyalty?
Exactly. Investors need to feel confident, like they're part of the journey.
It's a partnership. Investors need to know their money is in good hands.
That's what NM India seems to understand. It's not just managing money, it's managing relationships.
A key differentiator.
Definitely. Investors have choices. They'll go where they feel valued.
This deep dive has given us a great look at NM India, their journey, their performance, their aspirations.
We've seen their vision, their financial strength, their commitment to innovation, and responsible investing.
But as with any company, there are always challenges.
Oh, of course. No business is immune to that.
What factors could impact NM India's future?
Well, the overall economic climate, both in India and globally, is a big one. Slowdowns, uncertainties, those can impact investor sentiment.
That's the wild card. You can't fully predict or control it, so resilience and adaptability are key.
Absolutely.
What other challenges?
Competition. The asset management industry is getting more competitive.
New players, existing players fighting for market share.
Exactly. Any M&D needs to keep differentiating itself.
Through innovation, customer service, a strong brand.
It's an ongoing race.
You can't get complacent. Got to keep pushing, exceeding expectations.
For sure. What other trends?
Technological change, it's rapid.
NAM India is committed to digital transformation.
But they need to stay ahead of the curve. New technologies, evolving investor needs.
It's not just about having a website and an app anymore.
They need to leverage AI, machine learning, blockchain.
You're right. A seamless, personalized experience.
Exactly. And don't forget regulations and compliance.
Oh, that's a big one. The financial services industry is heavily regulated.
And M India needs to stay compliant.
To maintain their reputation, investor trust.
It's a balancing act. Innovation and responsibility.
Absolutely.
And one more thing. Evolving investor expectations, especially younger generations.
Digital natives.
They expect convenience and personalization.
Instant gratification.
It's not just about managing money anymore. It's about understanding each investor.
Tailoring offerings, speaking their language.
These new investors are tech-savvy, socially conscious.
And India seems to be on the right track, but they need to keep adapting.
This deep dive has been insightful. We've seen India's strengths, their challenges, the trends impacting them.
We've seen their decisions, their IPO, their commitment to ESG.
But as we wrap up, I have one more question. Their efforts to expand financial inclusion in B30 locations.
Right, it's a great initiative, but also complex.
It's not just about providing access.
It's about financial literacy, empowering people to make informed decisions.
How will Name India approach this? What will the long-term impact be?
It's a story that's unfolding.
Wow, it feels like we've been on this incredible journey with NM India, haven't we? Tracing their steps from that bold IPO to their position today as a true industry leader.
It's remarkable what they've accomplished, and their financials are impressive, of course.
Oh, absolutely. But beyond the numbers, I think it's their commitment to responsible investing that really stands out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're walking the walk, proving that financial success and positive social impact, they're not mutually exclusive.
Not at all. Their dedication to ESG, it's not just words. They've woven it into their investment decisions, how they operate, even their CSR activities.
It's clear they're in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Not just chasing short-term profits, but really aiming for something more, creating lasting value for their investors and for society.
And that approach, it seems to be hitting the mark with investors, especially those who want their money to reflect their values.
Oh, absolutely. That's a trend that's gaining momentum, no doubt.
And NM India, they're right there at the forefront, meeting that demand for sustainable, responsible options.
It's smart, really.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive, let's leave our listeners with something to ponder.
Given how forward-thinking NM India is, I think it's worth considering how all the global trends, especially in the ESG space, might influence their strategies even further. It's a constantly changing landscape. And seeing how NM India adapts, well, that's going to be fascinating.
We've uncovered a lot about NM India today, but there's always more to explore, right? What stood out to you most during our deep dive? What aspects of NM India or the Indian financial market piqued your interest? This is just the beginning of the journey of discovery. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.